Long before sharks became the ocean's most feared hunters, something even stranger ruled the water. Imagine a scorpion as long as a person, with wide paddles for swimming, sharp claws for grabbing prey, and a hard-armored body like a living tank. These creatures were called eurypterids, but many people know them as giant sea scorpions. They lived hundreds of millions of years ago, when Earth looked nothing like it does today. There were no whales, no dolphins, no seals, and no great white sharks. The seas were filled with odd fish, shell-covered animals, and predators that looked like they came from another planet. And for a long time, the giant sea scorpions were near the top of that world. To understand them, we have to travel back to the Paleozoic era, especially the Silurian and Devonian periods. This was around 430 to 360 million years ago. Life was still mostly in the water, and land was only starting to become green with early plants. The oceans and shallow seas were warm, wide, and full of places to hide and hunt. Eurypterids were not true scorpions, but they were related to animals like scorpions, spiders, and horseshoe crabs. Some were small, only a few inches long, but others grew to shocking sizes. The biggest known species, Jaekel, may have reached over 8 feet long. That is longer than many grown humans are tall, and it made this animal one of the largest arthropods ever found. So what made these sea scorpions such powerful hunters? Their bodies were built for control and attack. Many had strong front limbs with spines that could trap fish and other animals. Some had broad, flat back legs shaped like paddles, which helped them move through the water. Their eyes were large, giving them a wide view of their surroundings. Their hard outer shell protected them from bites and scrapes. In shallow water, a giant eurypterid could wait near the bottom, then rush forward and grab prey before it could escape. It may not have been as fast as a modern shark, but in its own time, it was a serious danger to almost anything small enough to catch. The world they lived in was both familiar and alien. Early fish were becoming more common, but many did not look like fish we know today. Some had heavy armor plates around their heads. Others had no jaws at all and fed by sucking up tiny food from the water. Coral reefs were growing in ancient seas, and strange shelled creatures crawled across the seafloor. In this setting, giant sea scorpions filled the role that big ocean predators play today. They helped shape the food chain by hunting weaker animals and competing with other predators. They were part of an arms race, where prey grew better armor and predators grew better tools to crack, grab, or chase them. One surprising fact is that some eurypterids may have left the water at least for short periods. Their fossils are sometimes found in places that were once near shorelines, lagoons, or river-like waters. Some scientists think certain species could crawl through very shallow water or across wet ground, a bit like modern horseshoe crabs do. This does not mean they were walking around like land scorpions in deserts. But it shows how flexible they may have been. They were not just open ocean monsters. Many lived in coastal waters, brackish lagoons, and freshwater areas. That range may have helped them survive for a very long time, but even the rulers of an ancient ocean do not rule forever. Over millions of years, the world changed. Fish with jaws became stronger, faster, and more diverse. Some grew large enough to challenge the sea scorpions. Ocean conditions shifted, habitats changed, and major extinction events shook life on Earth. By the end of the Paleozoic era, eurypterids were gone. Sharks and other fish would later rise into the roles these armored hunters once held. Today, all we have left are fossils and stone, showing the shapes of their claws, paddles, and armored bodies. They remind us that the ocean's history is much older and stranger than most people imagine. Before sharks became famous, giant sea scorpions were already hunting in ancient seas, proving that nature had built monsters long before humans were here to fear them.